Secrets to selling real estate consistently in the year 2025 and beyond. I'm going to be very frank with you today. It is a whole lot. There are a whole lot of things that you must understand as a realtor if you want to sell real estate consistently. And my definition of selling real estate consistently is in the word pro. And pro in this context means predictably, regularly, and often. So I think it's safe to say that this is what makes you a pro in real estate. That you are a pro is not in the fact that you know, but that you are a pro is in the fact that you are able to sell, close deals in a predictable manner, in a regular manner, and of course, you sell often. And in doing that, part of what guarantees that is the fact that you have the requisite knowledge, requisite capacity to be able to sell. My name is Raymond Ijoma, and I'm the lead facilitator of Fortreal Real Estate Academy, a real estate school right here in Nigeria. And if you're looking to learn how to sell real estate consistently, this is the right place to be. In fact, I'm going to say welcome home, because right here we teach you everything you need to know as it relates to being able to sell real estate consistently, being able to sell real estate back to back. And that is why we have video courses that can teach you from the very comfort of your home. You can literally be in your home anywhere in the world, and you can be listening to our video materials that teach you module by module on how you need to be able to learn, or how you can be able to develop the skill and the knowledge of selling real estate consistently. So why this is a free conversation, we have a paid training, we have a paid masterclass that teaches you how to be able to do this at a very practical level. So do subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share this video with as many realtors as possible. In this particular video, I'm going to be teaching you from my newest book titled Sell Real Estate Consistently. You can make orders for yourself. You can visit my website www.raymondejoma.com. All right, or you can go to Seller My Seller account to be able to gain access to this book. We only have physical or hard copies. We don't have PDF for this, at least not at the moment. All right, and I'm not sure we're going to have plan for electronic copies. Somebody saw this book in my hand a few days ago, and the person was asking me, how did I come about this word consistently? That the key word in this book is consistently. And then he went further to say that I would have put in a whole lot of research to be able to achieve this kind of book, lot of materials and value in it. And of course, even the title, when I told him that I didn't write this book based on research, I literally wrote this book based on experience, based on what I did, based on how I moved from struggling to selling. And it was only natural for me to develop such a concept. And that was what came about the title of this book. And from chapter 1 to the 16th chapter of the book is designed to move you from being whoever you are, in fact, somebody who doesn't even know real estate, to moving to that realm where you are able to sell consistently. And chapter 1 of the book lays the very first foundation, which is on clarity and direction. It's a bit of my story, but you will, in reading the chapter, be able to gain clarity, have direction, and of course, be able to curate a vision around what you are doing. So for you to be able to sell consistently, this is your first step. You don't just jump into real estate. Even if you jumped into real estate for whatever reason, it's important that you step back to be able to understand why you came in and create direction around it. In fact, in this book, I had to put together a vision test. And I highly recommend that you take that test so that you're able to ascertain where you are and begin to move in the right direction. And this is one of the things that helps you not to give up, because in starting to sell real estate, you definitely will not be able to just start and boom, you are in the realm of consistency. You must have certain foundations taken care of before you can be able to sell real estate constantly. So the first key in this particular conversation is clarity, direction, and vision. And that was taken care of in chapter 1. Chapter 2 begins to talk about understanding real estate. See, you cannot say you want to sell real estate consistently, yet you don't understand real estate. This is absolutely key. In fact, the title here is Introduction to Real Estate Globally, Types of Real Estate, the reality of selling real estate, and of course, why you must learn how to sell real estate. Chapter 3 begins to talk about starting the right way. What should you do? The 4 foundational elements that make the best realtors and real estate practitioners. If you want to sell real estate consistently, there are at least 7 types of mindset that you must have. They were all listed here. Number 1, you have the builder's mindset. You have the abundance mindset. You have the wealth mindset. You have the ruthless execution mindset. These are foundational in determining whether you are going to be able to sell consistently or not. And of course, how you ruthlessly execute also will determine how fast you will enter the realm of pro. You will enter the realm of selling consistently. All of these are mindset, and mindsets are drivers. Your mindset will determine what you do per day, per time, per week, and of course, what you do often. So if you have been driven by the wrong mindset, you either drive in the wrong direction or you do the wrong things. So you cannot take away the role of certain foundations. Foundations like commitment. There are a whole lot under chapter 3 of the book. And then chapter 4 goes to talk about the body of knowledge required to succeed in real estate. I've always thought about this, but in writing this book, I discovered that there were even more. And I had to add that. And then 7 key elements of building a successful real estate brand. You have digital dominance. Digital dominance was something that I really touched on at this part or in this part of the book. And of course, we have other elements like the legal knowledge, understanding the legal part of real estate, which is what even gave birth to this particular book. The law, the legal part of real estate, you don't want to joke with it at all. And chapter 5 takes us to effective marketing for consistent quality lead. There are 10 elements of effective marketing in real estate, a whole lot under this chapter. And here I'm simply saying that even before you enter the realm of selling consistently, you must have crossed the realm of generating leads, not just leads, but quality leads consistently. If you are not able to generate leads consistently through effective marketing, then trust me, you will not be able to close or sell consistently. In fact, part of the introduction here talks about the MSM principle, right? Marketing will give birth to sales, sales will give birth to money. If you don't do marketing right, then you have a problem with sales. If you don't do sales right, you will definitely have a problem with having money in your account or earning commissions. This principle was highly touched on here with a lot of strategies that you can use to be able to generate quality leads. Chapter 5 talks about the pathway to sales and building client loyalty. In selling real estate, I've learned that you don't just sell real estate and then sell a product and you are out of the way. Rather, there is a journey to building client loyalty and you must have it. If you are able to move from just selling, marketing, to building that loyalty, it helps you to sell even more consistently than your mates. Take for example, when you close a deal, you must understand that that deal that was closed by that client is just an entry point. That client can definitely, in fact, that client should be a returning client. And the only way or the only reason that client will be a returning client is if you served the client well, if your services were excellent. Now, beyond that realm of that one client, that client is also a door to other clients. And that is a realm of referrals. In fact, there are 2 other levels to this, but you must understand that the first mindset is not in just selling one property or in just selling one house to the client or just selling one plot of land to the client. You must see that client as a client that is supposed to come back. And for the client to come back, your services must be good. And of course, your product must meet the need of the client. So this is a key part of selling consistently. A lot more were shared under this chapter. In fact, this is where I developed the loyalty pyramid. There's the loyalty pyramid, and I hope that you are able to capture it in the book. Chapter 7 leads us to how to consistently generate quality leads. So the chapter 5 is effective marketing for consistent quality leads. While chapter 7 is how to consistently generate quality leads. Again, like I mentioned, you can't tell me you want to sell consistently if you are not intentional about generating quality leads. Chapter 8 goes to talk about branding and public relations. We've always talked about branding. And first, a lot of persons' mindset or opinion about branding is very flawed. We see branding as color. Once Once somebody's website is fine, the color codes are making sense and all of that, they say, oh, it's good branding. Yes, that is just the external element. There are core elements of branding that we miss. And if you get it right, you will definitely enter the realm of selling consistently if your marketing and closing is also good. So for you to be able to sell real estate consistently, you must pay attention to your branding. And in addition to your branding, you must pay attention to public relations. Very important. And chapter 9 talks about the issue of social media tools and setup for consistent sales. So it's one thing to be able to know what to say. It's one thing to have the energy and will to want to sell. However, there's the other part of having the right system and structure that generate the right leads. Because if everyone you sell to are people that you speak to directly, then there's a problem, right? So you must, for you to be able to sell consistently, you must pay attention to having the right system structure at the social media level, at the digital level, that helps you to generate consistent leads even while you are not actively pursuing those leads. In fact, this is one of my core secrets of being able to sell to people, sell to investors across the world, right from here in Nigeria. So right here, I talked about YouTube, Google, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, WhatsApp, and a whole lot of other platforms that you can look at if you want to sell consistently through the right setup. And of course, I looked at the 6Cs and 1A of building a social media page for a result. 3 top tools or top 3 tools that top selling realtors use to dominate. All right. In chapter 10, we looked at the almighty closing, right? So if you want to sell consistently, you don't just want to be getting the right leads and you're losing them. You want to be able to learn how to close. Closing is part of your powerful tools. You can't sell consistently if you don't know how to close. All right. And then, of course, we looked at the real estate sales process, looked at the 90-10 rule of closing, psychological triggers of closing. At some point in selling, there is a core psychological dimension to it. Urgency and scarcity is just one part. There is a core part where you trigger through psychology to be able to receive the money, take the money from the client. And of course, the most powerful part of this chapter is the A to Z of closing. Chapter 11 speaks to follow up. So part of your consistent sales strategy is follow up. And there are 2 types. There's a direct type of follow-up. There's the indirect type of follow-up. The direct one is that you have to reach out to the guy one way or another. The indirect is that you don't reach out to the guy, but somehow you are still following up. And that is very powerful. In fact, for most of the deals that I close right now, I don't even have enough of the time to be able to follow up one client after the other because of the number of leads that I get per time. So I focus more on indirect follow-up and still get the right result. All right. So yes, principles of follow-up, types of follow-up, and all of that. And chapter 12, inspection. So if for whatever reason you have to do an inspection, inspection will determine how far you go in closing, how consistent you close. If you mess up your inspection, then you mess up the closing, right? So if you get inspection right, you are good to go. And of course, the whole lot of talk. In fact, part of what I'm going to do, just to make a promise now, I'm going to have to teach each of these chapters one after the other on this YouTube channel. But of course, if you notice I've not been here in a long time, that's because my schedule has just been on and on. It's just a lot on my table, right? But I can make a promise that I'll take the chapters one after the other. But the question is when. When is what I don't know, right? But I'll take time to do that. So this is just like a run through so that you have an idea of what it takes to be able to sell real estate consistently. So inspection is a core part of it. Number chapter 13, objections and how to handle them. And there are 19 types of objections based on my experience of selling real estate consistently. If you can't deal with objections, you have issues. Trust me. In fact, there's almost no sales conversation that you have. There's almost no sales journey that you will not have objections. If you don't know how to handle or deal with those objections, that is where you have the real issue. And at that point, the objection becomes a no instead of a feedback. By intent and by design, objections are supposed to be feedbacks. They're supposed to be more inquisition for clarity. But when you don't get it right, when you don't understand it, the objection becomes an absolute no, and that is you killing the business for yourself. Chapter 14, sales calls. You really want to make calls. You need to be able to be on the phone call with clients. And there are 3 types of phone calls. The first one is cold call. The second is warm call. And there's a third one that I innovated. And that is the most powerful type of phone call, which is what I get, which is what I carry out. And most of my closing, 99.99% of my closing are based on the third type of call. Chapter 15 is how to create videos that will make you sell. How to create videos that will make you sell. And of course, you already know that this is powerful. In this day and age, videos are game changers. You don't want to skip them. You don't want to make mistakes. You don't want to say, I want to sell consistently, and you don't want to do videos. How do you want to do it? You want to find a way. You need to find a way to be able to do videos so that you are able to generate quick leads, quality leads, that will help you to sell real estate consistently. And of course, the last chapter is chapter 16, how to sell to Nigerians in diaspora. This is supposed to be a book on its own. But if you want to sell constantly, I think I highly would recommend that you sell to Nigerians in diaspora. If you can earn their trust, you will be able to sell real estate constantly. Don't forget, there's a second book. More books are on the way, but for now, this is the second published one. I have other ebooks that are not published, but this is published. Understanding real estate laws in Nigeria. And if you're interested in keying into any one of them, this is your best shot, this is your best time. And of course, our video courses are all available. Just in case you're not the guy that loves books, then I would highly recommend that you go for our video courses. And then that also gives you access to our mentorship program, where you can be guided, taught, and so that you are able to really learn beyond just learning visually. And also, it gives you the opportunity to graduate at our academy and become an alumnus, as the case may be, of the Fortreal Academy. So if you're interested in that, do reach out to the number shared right on your screen. And if you're interested in the book as well, there's a number that will be displaying on your screen. My name again is Raymond Ejoma, and I am the lead facilitator of the Fortreal Academy. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.